Greetings, Younity International team. I'm Aletheia, spiritual alchemist, mystic, medium, initiate and teacher for 25 years of Eastern and Western esoteric teachings. I developed a method of self-awareness based on spiritual alchemy called New Alchemy in Hungary, which has become a movement in the last 11 years. Thousands of people have completed my trainings, applied my practical method and read my book. Since 1998, I've been a regular contributor on television and radio shows, YouTube channels and festivals. My online presentations have a total of nearly 2 million views. Do I turn lead into gold? No, I do not. Then what does it mean to be an alchemist? I can honestly say that I've never had an interest in chemistry and I've never been enthusiastic about making gold either. And alchemy itself seemed like a confusing, quirky passion. That is, until 2012, in Portugal, I was introduced to the fascinating world of spiritual alchemy. How did I come across spiritual alchemy? At the age of 24, I was a graphic design graduate and already working as a designer for one of the biggest international record labels. At this time, I wasn't unsuccessful, but I still had a feeling of emptiness in my heart. So one day, I took a pair of scissors and trimmed my long hair to get rid of my petrified ego, and I moved out of the capital to a house in a forest. It was at this time, at a public event that I attended, that unexpectedly I entered the state of trance. I began to see and hear and experience another dimension. I experienced the release of my mind from my body. I experienced a new plane of reality. I also was empowered with special skills, philosophies, and sacred texts appeared in my mind that I've never read, nor did I know they ever existed. During intense visions, I had a personal contact with spiritual beings. I began to sense the thoughts, emotional states, and health conditions of the people who approached me. So soon I was drifted into the world of mediums and spiritual healers. Politicians, television personalities, artists sought me out to hear my messages from the spiritual dimension. I began to research at this time spiritual traditions with incredible intensity. That's how I discovered an Indian spiritual school. And in 10 years that followed, I had a life-changing experience of being a personal disciple and inner circle member of a Hindu guru who was a living legend around the world. He provided me with invaluable knowledge, serious training on meditation and Vedic philosophy, and in 2001 I was ordained a priest by him. I also played an active role in the revival of esotericism in Hungary. With the publishing house I founded, we published nearly 200 books on spiritual topics by authors such as Greg Braden, Drunvalo Melchizedek, Esther and Jerry Hicks, Doreen Virtue, Lee Carroll, Tom Kenyon, and so on. In 2012, I went to Portugal, where I discovered the tradition of spiritual alchemy, which opened a new dimension for me. I was fascinated by spiritual alchemy, and I felt inner urge to develop a modern methodology of this tradition that can be applied for people today. This is how New Alchemy was born, and over the past 11 years it has grown into a thriving free academy and school of thought. I teach a number of live and online workshops and seminars. We have clear concepts, a complete personal development system, and signature practices that combine practical knowledge with mysticism. During my trainings, participants are equipped with specific knowledge and tools which raises them into a radically new level of energy and empower them to fulfill their lives, process their traumas or their personal karma. At advanced levels, we are dealing with how to unfold one's mystical abilities, such as connecting to transcendent resources, building the solar body, self-healing, or rejuvenation. I'm currently working on a new series of books to be published in English as well. which will explore the full theory, practices and mystical techniques of New Alchemy. The title of my presentation for Summit Flow is Path to Liberating Your Inner and Divine Power. In this lecture, I will introduce the audience to one of the most treasured practices of spiritual alchemy, which can be used to shift into a whole new quality of being. In alchemy, there are two kinds of fire in everyone. One is called the consuming fire. It is the fire of oxidation, of decomposition, of decay. And there is another quality of fire which is called the heavenly fire, suggesting that it comes from the transcendent plane. It is the energy of the divine, the spiritual source itself. This is the heavenly fire that animates matter. Everything that is alive has a sparkle of this fire at some level. According to alchemy, human beings are in that special position of being able to access and ignite this fire within themselves through their own consciousness. Because in alchemy, human is the gateway between the material and the divine. This is what I will share with the Younity audience, and I will also give them an exercise to help them to experience this heavenly fire within themselves. So this is the essence of thousands of years of spiritual alchemy, and I feel a deep commitment to sharing this knowledge and to create a better, truer and more beautiful world. Thank you for having me.